And everyone else. Hey there. Whoa, oh, that was all my fault. Accidentally, she stepped in it. I didn't give her a chance to turn around. Good morning, sweet pea. There's your chicken. Life is good. You ready to go back out, Marty? Oh, he came in this morning at 7:30 with his little mews. Please let me out, Mom. Come here, Morris. And then Stripey followed him, and then we got up a little early. Hi, buddy. Good morning. And Don wants to do the plumbing project first thing today. If you missed the story as we were watching TV, paused the TV, heard this really faint beep, beep, beep. We have several different types of leak detectors. And anyway, we have a leak under the house. One of the lines that has to do with the hot water heater, and Don's gonna go to Lowe's here in a bit and get what he needs to fix it and knock that out. That's the short story. Hi guys. We have clouds today. We have rain incoming tonight into tomorrow. While Don's working on the plumbing project, I'm going to go try to plant the trees over in the side yard so they get rained in good tomorrow. It's always nice to plant something and then get a little rain afterward. I am liking these mornings where there's just enough of a hint of a chill in the air that it feels nice without me needing to think about getting a jacket. It's good. It's very good. A little sad to see some of my flowers coming to an end for the year, but what can you do? Nothing like having your cup of coffee on your way to Lowe's to get plumbing parts.
Yeah, do a plumbing job right first thing Monday morning.
And there's a little traffic over here on the back road, Piney Grove, Wilbon.
Yeah, they must be doing something.
Obviously they're doing something. And during the morning commute, it's 9:05. So we'll get going here in a minute. We won't come back this way.
Right, we'll go the other way.
Well, we got some black plastic netting to put up with stakes around the trees so the deer won't eat them. The wire was nicer, but the wire was over twice as expensive. Don's got in to get the plumbing parts. I scared him to death when I got the flat hauler. That was just the first card I found. I wasn't trying to scare him to death. This Sangukaku coral bark. Is that what it is? Yeah, coral bark, but this one is, yeah, Sangukaku. It sure is. It's pretty. It's very pretty. None of the trees are marked down. I'd have to say for that size tree, for 109 in good health is probably actually not a bad deal. Some of these look a little more rough, but you know, ours kind of looks like this year too. Is this a Tamakiyama? It sure is. So I don't know what caused the Tamakiyama leaves to do this, because ours kind of looks like this year too. So pretty, and just nothing but, well, I guess this is not cone flower. This is what, blanket flower. But you know, the deer just eat this stuff up for fun. There's lots of mums. I mean, a ton. I'm stuck. A ton to choose from, but still no pansies or violas, which is what I'm looking for. I did actually want a mum, but really the mum in the orange pot that kind of looks like a pumpkin is $12, and the same size mum in the black pot is $8. Oh goodness. I think plastic by the color doesn't really matter much, but that's just me. Got a neat basket over here. That one's $17. I have a really nice pumpkin basket painted bigger on the front porch that I picked up several years ago and have been putting out for a limited amount of time and then back in, and it's holding up well, so I'm not coveting the basket. Don was able to get everything he needed. We had to wait on him to go get 3/4 20-foot red hot water line pipe. Yeah, Plex. They had the blue out, but of course, typically convention says you'd use that for cold and red for hot. So, but the guy went out back and he got it for Don, because online Don could see that they had a ton of it. They weren't supposed to be out of it.
Right.
And I guess what Don decided to do was to replace a longer piece than is absolutely necessary, so that he won't have the fixed connection over top of this really hard to reach place again, and potentially have to fix another leak up there. Did I understand that
exactly
correctly?
Right. Yeah, might as well, since I'm going to have to mess with it anyway, might as well go on and replace that whole pipe from the hot water heater to the T. Right now that pipe has a flare-it or fitting in the middle that I had put it there a couple years ago. So I'm going to end up just making that a continuous piece of pipe now without that fitting and that repair from a prior problem. Anyway, so it'll make it simpler. Should make it a little bit fewer points of failure.
Yeah, and our receipt today was for $114.52, and my plastic netting was $33.38. The rest of it was the plumbing. So
yeah, well,
Don had guesstimated $76 to $80, something like that, based on what he saw online to do what he wanted to do.
Right, and I would say I might be able to reuse one of the shark bites or two of the shark. I might be able to reuse them because shark bites are reusable. And if that's the case, then two of those, and they were like $14 a piece, so 28 bucks will come back. If I'm actually able to do it, just the 3/4 inch to PB.
Yeah, they were $14.98 each, so 15 bucks. You get about 30 bucks back.
If I can reuse the one that I've got, that's another reason to do this, is that I've already got a PB adapter there. So maybe I should say one of them will go back, so I can trim $15 off.
Okay.
By replacing the pipe. The pipe was 15 bucks, so it's basically a wash.
Yeah, our Don's obviously going to trim that pipe. He doesn't need 20 feet, but he was thinking he needs around 11 feet, which meant that the 10-foot pieces that they had were not going to work, so I had to up it to 20. It's always that just a little bit more than the size is. We're just getting the pogo loop out of the way, since I'm going to plant trees and Don's going to do plumbing. We won't be back out probably to exercise today. That guy found something he liked in the electronics recycle. I mean, you'd be surprised at the stuff that goes in there. Really high-end stereo equipment most people don't want anymore. But what I was going to say is, so, outside the house we have a heat pump, and that's the quote-unquote
outdoor unit,
the air conditioner part. But the part under the house, which is big, is the air handler. Yeah, so all the leak is over top of the air handler, which is why it's hard to get to. But you'll see when Don's down there making videos for me today.
Yeah, well, I made one last night.
You did. I'm going to put it in yesterday's video. I caught it that you uploaded a video at midnight after he's out there at midnight. Well, I mean, we didn't have a choice. We didn't know there was a leak until 11, and then to get his mind around what parts he needed, he was in and out of the house a couple times to the garage and under the house, and managed not to trap any kitties, so all was good. Yep, it was good. I'm not worried today if you leave the door open while you're working. I mean, you don't have to be so careful. I just didn't want to have to hunt anybody at midnight last night. That wasn't...
That's right.
Although Stripe and Marty, and really even Morris, they're not going to stay up underneath there. Gray and Panther, but mostly Gray, she had serious confusion about under the house. All right, we're good to go to the house now. I
get to go work.
I got my route completed. So they've upped our rain chances to 2.5 inches from this disturbance. We'll see if that pans out or not. Every time I look over the last 3 days, the amount of rainfall we're going to get in Raleigh has increased. With the words of the forecast has increased. So I didn't water anything this morning, mostly because I knew we were going to get rain and because things weren't really dry. And then with this forecast, I definitely won't be taking the time to water anything else today. I filled my fountains and refreshed the cat water, but none of the other stuff. I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do for the bird bath over the winter, because I always take that cement top off and lean it up against a tree so that it doesn't collect water in it and it doesn't, you know, freeze and crack it. And the pedestal's really not a concern because there's no way, there's no place on there for water to, but I don't want to not have a bird bath over the winter in my camera, and I've been pondering how I'm going to handle that. Well, I have these nice melamine bowls. Maybe I put some 3M, you know, I try to affix, you know, the adhesive and Velcro and keep one of the bowls from falling off of the thing. Probably have to get Dawn involved to ask for some suggestions for how to keep my plastic bowl from falling off.
Yeah.
The $5 plastic bowl doesn't make it through the winter. That's not the end. You know, they're pretty, and I don't want to destroy them. But if I destroy one, then I destroy it. But although, let me rethink that, because you know the way I empty it is I spill it over, rough my hand over it, and then put fresh water in. And if I semi-permanently affix it, it's not going to be wanting to undo the Velcro every day. Then, you know, that will be not easy to clean it properly. So actually, the Velcro adhesive, that might fix one part of the problem, but create a problem for the part I didn't have a problem with. So again, I'm having to give some thought to how I'm going to handle that. I know what I do for the kitties. I've got a stainless steel heated thing that I swap out for the state. Of course, that's right. That I swap out, and up the plastic one, and that's plenty of water for over the winter. Besides, half the time Stripe and Marty are drinking in the house now, so it's like, yeah. I want you to know that I'm genuinely sorry that you're stuck fixing another plumbing leak, and so thankful that you have the skills, inclination, time to do it. And I offered to fix him breakfast before he got busy. Figured that might ease the I got to go do this crappy job a little bit.
It definitely will make it go easier.
I do feel bad, though. Don's had to adult several times lately at inopportune times. You know, down under the house at midnight last night was not where he wanted to go. And
no.
I'm sorry, Nonny.
It's all right, sweet pea.
That's hilarious. Tell him what you just told me.
Well, I said that if I knew a young married couple who was getting married, or a young couple getting married, I would not get them dishes. I'd get them a package of leak detectors. Because trust me, they'll appreciate the leak detectors way more than any china or something that they don't ever use.
Oh, goodness. So first thing I'm going to do is put that pot and that Peeve Ollie Japanese maple here behind the pole with the camera. I bought some Fox Farm special high drainage potting soil. I've got rocks in the bottom. This pot had 3 really large holes in it, so I think it'll drain well. Japanese maples do not like wet feet, as I have learned. There's my fancy Halloween bucket I was telling you about that I have had basically in that spot every year. Look, I like it. I enjoy it. So Peeve Ollie is in the pot, and I decided that I'm going to put one on the other side too. I like balance. What can you say? So that one's ready to go. I didn't have any of my gray blocks like over here. We were at Lowe's this morning and I never thought about it. Well, mostly because I had putting them in the ground in the side yard on the brain. But it's good for me to have a couple of these blocks lying around when I need them. So anyway, I went to our brick pile and I got bricks. It's twofold. One is to keep the plants from rooting into the ground, although the flat surface would be better than this thing with holes. And the other is for drainage. It allows the water to run out of the bottom of the pot, which is what you want. So Mr. Maple had a fireball on the website this morning, and Don said I could get it. So that was the one I was looking, one of the two I wanted when I was down there at the open house. So they either found another one somewhere, which would be easy to understand considering how many trees they have, or they bought a few from wherever they got the last batch that they had that they sold out of before I got one. So the fireball is a dwarf, and it's going to go on this side. These are both fairly small trees, you know, maybe 8 foot tall. I think the fireball's 4 to 5 by 4 to 5 or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, considering that's in like 10 to 15 years, they're both, you know, pretty slow growing. I can always move the pot or decide to put them in the ground, but that's where they're going to be for now. The original thought was to hide the pole for the camera a little bit. And this is the bird bath I was talking about, trying to figure out what to do for winter. What I could do so that it wouldn't, you know, my bird bath wouldn't. This bird bath is almost as old as Moses. It's old. There's a lot of concrete places in North Carolina with the mild winter here and the soil conditions and stuff. We have a lot of people spending cement, but more back in the day than quite so much now. Maybe it's not as lucrative as it used to be. People have changed what they want to buy. They want plastics instead of cement. I don't know. Anyway, this is where I got to figure out what I'm doing this winter. Here are the 4 I have to plant in the ground. These are the only 4 that aren't in a pot. They're loose. They haven't had anything done to them since they arrived. So onward we go to figure it out.
So you can see the flare at this white fitting right here. That's a repair I made a couple years ago. And if you see that black bucket down there, that's underneath the T. So that's the one end of it, and then the other end is right here. I'm gonna disconnect it from here. This is shark bite, and I've got the little tool that'll let me do that. And I'm gonna drain the water out of that pipe obviously when I get out. So I got me a bucket down here to catch the water. So hopefully I'll be able to get it. Wish me luck. So here we go. This is the repair I made a couple years ago. I cut that length of pipe out here. I'm going to replace it with a continuous piece of PEX. But if you notice to the right here, the threads, there's only like 2 threads left, maybe 1 or 2. And if you look over to on the right, there's like 3 or 4 threads. So the right side over here was one I was worried about leaking. That's why I put the leak detector under this, expecting it to let go, but it never did. It held up well. I can't complain. It was just, I used all my might to make this connection, and I could not get that up there any further. And I would say the other part of this is they said not to heat the pipe. If I remember right, the instructions says don't heat the pipe. The flare instructions says don't heat the pipe. So I didn't heat the pipe. I think I'm remembering that correctly. Well, there it is. The PB to shark bite, or PEX. PEX to the T. The feed line coming in and going to the rest of the house. And I tied it in right here. This goes to the kitchen and the baths, and this goes up here to the washing machine, I think. Anyway, it's there. I didn't have any trouble, but I'm going to tell you, I like to have cut that 11-foot pipe too short. I mean, I needed every bit right here to go to the other end to pull it tight. So, but nonetheless, I got it right. It would have been better if it would have been 1 inch longer, maybe 1.5 inches. There's nothing wrong with the strain though, so that's good. Here's the hot water in. I've already got the stuff on it, but it worked well. The new PEX to the braided stainless steel flexible shark bite water hose line, and this is what I was talking about. I needed 1 inch, You see that screw hole right there? And you see the screw right here? This screw was in that. I had to move it down an inch. I needed that inch to give myself clearance. So I did cut the pipe about an inch short, but nonetheless, she's looking good. I got all the insulation except for that little piece right there. I got it all tidied up.
Well, I was down there quite a bit more, cutting stuff so that it fall to the ground and deteriorate quicker. I worked up quite a sweat. Luckily, I didn't run into any yellow jackets. Trust me, I was worried about it the whole time. So far today, just one ant bite on my right wrist. There's 2 or 3 things I would probably cut with the chainsaw so they would fall to the ground and be out of the way a little more, but it's enough better than what it was, and I'm happier, so that's good. Don would have worked on it some more if I'd asked him to. I pointed several times, go work on that, go, you know, trim this up or whatever. And he, you know, he did everything I asked him to do, so I don't in any way mean it as a complaint. It's just that standing back today with a discerning eye, I decided a few more things had to be trimmed back a little more. So I've laid out my trees. You should be able to see where they are. That one is anyway, and then this one over here. And the autumn moon is there, and the green tea is there. So I think I'm happy enough with those spots. They won't be grown into the ground so bad that I can't move them, you know, if I find a reason, but I think that's going to be okay. Definitely could put a shady one up there, on that high spot. Probably another one farther back in between those 2 trees where it's on the hill and the water runs away, so it wouldn't, you know, flood the tree. Well, we'll see. Marty just came over to check on progress and scratch an itch. Morris and Stripe are on the bench here on this side of the catio, cat hotel by the red impatient. Tried not to scare Morris off. I've got 2 in the ground so far. This Kiet Sudori and that one's green tea, I think. Straight ahead over there. I said straight ahead over there. Don had good success with the project. Repair under the house. We have hot water. He's running the dishwasher, so we couldn't do the dishes last night because they usually do them overnight. And it's just gorgeous out here for work, and I did have to go put on a little more bug spray though. It's 10 after 4 and I'm just finishing up. I did not have enough wire cage to do the 4th tree, but 3 of them were good. So I guess it cost about $10 a tree for the plastic netting. This is the one that I don't have enough to do. It won't stretch over to the next bar here. It goes about halfway, so there's just not very much there. As you can see, I've got rocks and wood and other stuff to try to protect it. And here's the 4th one up here. I'm going to go get lavender and come out also and drop some around the bird bath, and over here as my last thing for the day to help keep the deer at bay. There was a discussion in the Mr. Maple forum today about how much everybody's tired of losing trees to the deer. We would like the deer great if they just would munch on things in the woods that we don't care about and leave the expensive stuff alone. But that's not what they do.